address this Sunday morning, and those issues are centered around Barbados becoming a republic, our solidarity with the government and people of Cuba, our solidarity with the government and people of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, and some other local matters so that you will have a clear position on the Caribbean movement for peace and integration in relation to these issues. Let me say that the Caribbean movement for peace and integration fully support the government of Barbados removing the Queen of Head of State of Barbados on our 50th independence anniversary, which will take place on the 30th of November 2021. Barbados will move to a higher level of democracy. Barbados will no longer have the Queen as our head of state. And for us, this is a very, very important issue. Brothers and sisters, comrades and friends, I would also like the government of Barbados to create the conditions so that we can have full discussion, full conversation on our constitutional reforms. I think this will be a very, very important discussion for our people who are developing a new democratic state. I would also like to say and recommend that we oppose July 26th, which is the day that must be considered as Rebellion Day for the working classes in Barbados. And I think that it's the best day for us to declare as our day of celebration for our republic, July 26th. So the Caribbean movement for peace and integration is very clear, and we are happy and supportive of the government of Barbados' position to remove the Queen of Head of State of Barbados. And we are very thankful. Any discussions, any programs that the government may develop, our movement will participate so that our voice can be heard in all of the discussions related to constitutional reforms and for the celebration of our republic. Brothers and sisters, the Caribbean movement for peace and integration in collaboration with other progressive forces in Barbados want to express its solidarity with the government and people of the Republic of Cuba. We have started the process in terms of discussions inside of Barbados and also within the region. And our discussions are centered around how we can express that solidarity with the government and people of Cuba. We want to be able to send medical supplies and equipment to Cuba. We also want to demand the political and economic blockade against Cuba must be removed by the government of the United States. This is a criminal act against the government and people of Cuba. Cuba is a nation of dear loving people. And I want to explain a number of things because sometimes we forget these things. Cuba, as a nation, sent its military forces into Africa, southern parts of Africa, to help us with our liberation struggle. And many southern African nations benefited from that process. Nations like Namibia, Southern Africa, and now the African man in Southern Africa have some kind of freedom. So Cuba sent its military forces, some of them men and women, and they died in a battle, helping us to fight for our liberation in Southern Africa. Cuba also extended to our African nations an education program for students at the primary level, secondary level, tertiary level, and all of them travel from Africa to Cuba. And in those days, Cuba covered the airfare, the accommodation, the meals, and give them a stipend while they were in Cuba. And this program was free for the African students. Cuba also sent its medical teams to Africa to help us with medical problems, many medical problems in Africa. This is also very important. And I want to say, you know, that this kind of contribution to humanity is very important. And the thing about it is that when the Cubans leave Africa and then back to Cuba, Cuba did not ask or take a dime or, or misuse any of the resources in Africa. They went in on a mission, and that mission was to help liberate Africa. Africa was liberated from a number of white racist governments, and then the Cubans returned to the nation. And that's why I am, and the reason why I am explaining that is because I want you to understand the nation Cuba and its contribution to humanity. You know, Cuba have offered scholarships to many countries in the world, including the Caribbean, Latin America, North America, and even within poor communities within the United States of America. Academic scholarships, with medical scholarships leading that initiative. Then you have The IKEA program that have saved many persons who were going blind in Latin America and the Caribbean and other parts of the world. Barbados also benefited from that process. And then you have the COVID-19 situation. And Cuba have sent its medical teams all over the world, in Europe, in the Americas, in Africa, in Asia, to help save lives and to help us to deal with this COVID 19 situation. Right here in Barbados, we have a powerful medical team from the Republic of Cuba that is doing a very good job in terms of helping us in Barbados to deal with the COVID 19 situation. So, this is a very important contribution from the government and people of Cuba. So, for us in the Caribbean Movement for Peace and Integration, the Cuban Barbadian Friendship Association, and other progressive organizations in Barbados, this is a very progressive position by Cuba. And we are hoping that our government will embrace the Cuban vaccine and will give the people of Barbados the opportunity to receive the Cuban vaccine. So, my brothers and sisters, the Caribbean Movement for Peace and Integration will continue to extend our solidarity with the government and people of the Republic of Cuba. Brothers and sisters, friends and comrades, we also want to extend that solidarity to our brothers and sisters, the government and people of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. Venezuela is an important nation in our region. Venezuela have also extended its arm to our Caribbean nations and have assisted us with the Petro-Caribbean Agreement. Venezuela is one of the leading countries in our region that go all out to help us when there's a major disaster in any of our Caribbean nations. Venezuela is a friend of Caribbean people. And because of all of this, my brothers and sisters, comrades and friends, we must continue to stand in solidarity with the government and people of Venezuela. Venezuela have held many democratic elections to give the people of Venezuela the right to vote for their choice. Therefore, the Caribbean Movement for Peace and Integration and the Venezuela Friends in Barbados Support Committee will continue to extend our solidarity with the government and people of Venezuela. And we will fight against any form of intervention against the people of Venezuela. And we will demand that our Caribbean remain a zone of peace. So, comrades and friends, these are two very important countries in our region, Cuba, Venezuela. Oh, and we also want to take this opportunity to extend our solidarity with the government and people of Nicaragua and Bolivia, and our solidarity with our brother in St. Vincent, Ralph Gonzalez, his government, We were happy that the St. Lucia Labour Party are now the elected government in St. Lucia. We were happy to see that. And they too have our solidarity. The Dominica government have our solidarity and support. And the Caribbean Movement for Peace and Integration are prepared to help defend these nations against any form of intervention by US imperialism. My brothers and sisters, I want to end this address by saying that the Caribbean Movement for Peace and Integration will organize a number of discussions in Barbados about Barbados becoming a republic and also about our constitution because we want the government of Barbados to also give progressive forces in Barbados an opportunity to voice their concerns on this issue. This is a very important issue for Barbadian people. We are moving to a higher level with a new form of government. And we need to democratize our political system. We need to create an upper chamber that is elected by the people and not selected by the Queen representative, the opposition party in government, and the governing party. No, 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 no. We want the people of Barbados to elect persons for the upper house. We also want to see state corporations being democratized rather than one political party that is in power determine who must go on those boards. We want to see private family companies be democratized also. It is wrong for a man or woman to work in a corporation for more than 20 years and then when they leave, they do not have any shares within that corporation. No. We want to broaden the scope for our discussion on the Constitution. We want public officers to be allowed, like any other worker or professional person in Barbados, so that they too can participate in the electoral process, so public officers can be elected to parliament. We feel that public officers should be given the opportunity, if they want to participate in electoral politics. We want to see a constitution that empowers young people, that creates the conditions for young students to participate in the decision making process within our educational system. We want to see some form of local government that will give the people of Barbados an opportunity to participate in decision making processes when it comes to their community. We want to give the physical challenged people constitutional rights within our system. They should have to depend on a political party to appoint them to the Senate. No, no, no. They can meet among themselves and elect their representatives for both the lower chamber and the upper chamber of our parliament. We want to see a country that respects all different sectors within our society. We do not believe that one small group in Barbados should gain all of the government of Barbados contracts. We believe that there should be equal distribution among all of the business classes in Barbados. So, my friends, comrades, brothers and sisters, this is a very important struggle for all of us. And therefore, we must do whatever is necessary to help create the conditions for a democratic republic for the people of Barbados. That is the type of republic that the Caribbean movement for peace and integration would support. A people's democratic republic. Yes, I accept what they're saying about the parliamentary republic, but we accept that for the beginning of this process. We don't believe in no electoral college electing no president, but we accept it for the beginning of this process. But we are hoping that when we thrashed out and develop that new constitution, that new constitution will create the conditions for the people of Barbados. I want to repeat that. We are hoping that that constitution will create the conditions for the people of Barbados to elect our head of state. Okay? And not no electoral college. We want to reach that level because we want to develop a people's democratic republic. Okay? So, brothers and sisters, we have to continue in the fight and we have to defend what is right and fight to help create the conditions for our people. There are many other issues relating to the Republic that, as General Secretary of the Caribbean Movement for Peace and Integration, I will be addressing during this period. But this is phase one, and I want you, the people in Barbados, to send us your comments. That's important. We want you to voice your concern about our recommendations. We want you to be involved in this process with the Caribbean Movement for Peace and Integration. Because when we had the Henry IV Constitution Commission, we had what was called the People's Forum. And we went all across Barbados with the late Ricky Paris and others, Dr. Eichel Tafari, late Dr. Eichel Tafari, others. We went across Barbados. Commission was involved, Trevor Preston was involved, Martin Cadogan, late Martin Cadogan was involved, and many of our brothers and sisters were involved. The Rastafari community were involved, and that is the kind of process that We are going to work towards within the Caribbean movement for peace and integration to create conditions for a people's forum, not a government forum, for a people's forum to discuss our constitutional reforms. The Caribbean movement for peace and integration are going to work towards creating a people's forum for us to discuss, okay, Barbados constitution reforms, and we will put 4 recommendations to the government of Barbados. So, my brothers and sisters, I will leave you now. Thanks for giving me a hearing. Remember, I say we're looking forward for your comments. You can write to my email address, which is david.denny66@hotmail.com, or you can WhatsApp me at 1-246-286-4052, and we'll be happy to respond to you. We will be very, very, very happy to respond to you because we feel that this is a very important discussion, and it's a discussion that will give us the opportunity to develop a people's democratic republic. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to me and for giving me this opportunity to address you. And we look forward to hearing from you. Long live the struggle. Long live unity, okay, among our working classes in Barbados. Forward ever, backward never. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and may God bless you. Bye.